Good afternoon. Welcome back to a new video. Today I'm going to talk about small caps and some insights that will blow your mind. Okay. We are already into 12 days of 2026. And let me begin by saying you something that is more valuable than making quick money. Okay. In 2026, I feel that we need to try to achieve the PTC, which is the patience, temperament, and clarity, not in investing and trading, but also in our life. So that if you have these three main things like patience, temperament, and clarity, we can take long-term decisions which will be fruitful in the coming years. Now, everyone want to know the targets or where is market heading to. And there are analysts who comes and say some figures. And as you know, the forecast will fly thick and fast. It can never hold true unless otherwise it is substantiated by the solid evidence. So instead of making more noise, what I'm trying to do in this video is to set some ground expectations that what is that I am thinking about small caps today. Now, if you look, I will go to the charts later, but just to summarize, from mid of 2022 to 2024, the small cap index have risen around 150 percentage. Then it fell down to 27 percentage. And from that low, we are again close to 25-30 percentage up. So all those people who came into markets or in an investment or in a trading purpose or on small cap funds, basically the mutual funds, they it has been a sobering year all throughout of 2025. And there is pain for the new investors. Okay. The long-term portfolio of small cap have fallen over 45. For that matter, some stocks have even corrected more than 50 percentage. Now, the era of low-hanging fruits is behind. We cannot just rely on the low-hanging fruits now. So what we need to do is that we have to do the stock selection very, very clearly. Okay. And the diligence, what we have to follow is not optional. It will have to be followed. We have to stay diversified. And remember, the outcomes will never be perfect. So what we need most is the right mindset and discipline so that 2026 we can position ourselves to get good rewards in the future, which is the next 4-5 years. So let me go through the presentation, which I have made a small few slides put together, a small presentation, a small video with few examples as well. Okay, so as I generally say, this is just for educational purpose, no recommendation or buy or sell. So disclaimer, so whatever you are doing, it's at your own risk and consult your advisor for any investment or trading purpose, okay? All right. So as per the SEBI classification, the stock market is divided into large cap, mid cap, small cap, you all know. And the classification was top 10 stocks in the large cap, 150 stocks in the mid cap, and post 250 stocks, everything is small cap. But the labels are often misleading. Whatever we think as a small cap need not be small cap. And whatever we think as a large or a mid cap is not necessarily a mid or a large cap. Okay. So there are many small cap stocks which are actually sizable and who are into well-established business. All right. So what is happening nowadays is the youngsters are really fascinated or excited by the returns that have seen from the small caps. So remember one thing, the general belief or what is being said around is that when markets fall or crumble, small caps are having a free fall, and that is not right. Okay. In the recent past, whenever market have fell, there was some large caps which fell more than the small caps. If you recollect the 2008 crash, the small caps fell more than 70 to 80%. There are only few funds during that time, but there are funds which has fell more than 70 to 80 percentage. Now, the long-term returns in the short run, the small caps are really strong, but the swings are severe. And the swings in the sense, the up and down, there is high volatility there. Now, these volatility will scare you and will drive you out of the markets. When I say drive you out of the market, meaning it will force you to exit your position and reallocate your fund to some other place, some other assets or some other places. Now, the suggestion from my end would be avoid lump sum in small cap, either in the stocks or in the funds, and stagger your investment through SIP, systematic investment plan, as a fund, or systematic investment month over month or week over week, as you please. But it should not, never put all your money one shot into any small cap stock or your fund. Now, of late, there has been rising participation in the small cap arena, and that may give more resilience going forward. Okay. To have the maximum potential captured for the small cap stocks, we need to have, or the funds, we need to ride out the volatility, which means you need to give a horizon of minimum 5 years. Always, it's better that the beginner's portfolio should have only less amount of small cap stocks or the small cap funds, but they have to follow the discipline. Now, all those people who entered the market late 2024 and 2025, they will be different. They'll be definitely disappointed. But my request to them is have faith in the economy of India, have faith in the Indian markets, and give a 5 year horizon for your investment to become little bit fruitful for you and give good returns. For that, you need to have strong emotional and financial resilience. Okay. All right. So the higher the small cap allocation, then the more discipline, the more patience, and the ability to absorb the losses should be there. Okay. So the risk involved is not business. It's not a business failure, but it's due to the volatility that will push you to get out of the market or get out of the funds that you are holding. So what I am suggesting as such is that you should never have more than 25 to 30% allocation of the total net worth in the small cap area, be it be in mutual funds or in the stocks. And one more thing, don't bother about the valuation if you are a long-term investor. Okay. For long-term investors, the valuation doesn't, sorry, for short-term investors, the small cap investing doesn't make sense. Now, small cap should be considered only after gaining of 5 years of experience in the markets, either in funds or in stocks, and you have seen enough market fluctuations. So, those who are getting into job recently in 2024, 2025 and started earning 50,000, 60,000 and all, the problem is that they get dragged by noises, the news, and by their friends and acquaintances saying, go ahead and put your money in small cap, it will give you a good returns. I will show you few examples how the index have performed and as well as how some stocks have corrected in the small cap arena in the last couple of years. And it's always good to start early when you're an youngster, but with small capital, with small exposure to small cap, and then don't wait for perfect timing. As you all know, there is no time to enter, or you cannot predict when you can enter the market. They should have, the youngsters should have a longer risk tolerance and high risk taking, high risk tolerance and longer horizons. I'm sorry for that. Okay. And a 3 to 5 year small cap SIP will give you more returns than short term trading, especially for those who are not exposed to trading and they don't know the tricks and techniques and the nuances of trading. You stick to small cap funds, I would say, not even the small cap stocks. Okay. Later in this video, I'll tell you how to select or what are things you should consider while selecting a small cap stock. And for those people who are very new, the better option would be a flexi cap or a large cap or a multi cap over the small caps. Now, this is the chart of the Nifty small cap index, and I have marked slightly in different color and with different lines If you see in the month of March 2020, the index was around 3,216 odd levels. And from there, okay, a 2.5 year period for, let's say, end of 2024, the indices have risen almost around 9 to 19,700 odd points, which is close to, I would say, I think it is there in the screen as well. You can see it. It's close to 503 percentage, all the way from 2020 March till 2024 December. So, which means it's approximately how many years? Close to um, close to 5 years. Okay, it has given you 500 percentage returns. That doesn't mean all these small percentage. All right. Now, let's move on. If you see a shorter period from June 2022 to December 2024, which is hardly 2.5 years, the index have given 150 percentage returns. So seeing all this, the new entrants of 2025 expecting such a kind of return got trapped. Now, what made me do this video is my daughter started working recently, and her friends have been saying they have lost money by putting more of their savings into the small caps. They are looking at a short term, and without knowing, without learning, they just blindly dump their money somewhere based on some news which came up. Okay, moving further from 2024 December until now. Okay, from the top, we have fell 29%. So all those people who have come in the whole of last year will see a dip in their portfolio if they are only having the small cap funds. So what I'm trying to say is there have been rosy years for small cap assets, but last year was not so good. Okay. Now, what are the things that you should keep in mind while you are doing a small cap selection or the small cap funds? Let's say small cap funds, because I'm trying to target the young group who just started working. Okay. So watch the fund manager skill as the selection universe is bigger and which is under research. There are a hell a lot of stocks. You need to look at the fund manager. What was his performance? Has the fund manager of the stock of the fund have changed recently or not? Then, if you see that a small cap fund have grown too large, then it become a struggle on the fund manager to manage the broader universe of stocks. So select those funds that have given a 3 year to 5 year alpha over the benchmark. Okay. There are different sites which you can go ahead and do this. So please do an analysis before you get into any of the investment in the small cap funds. Now, small cap fund assets can outperform the individual small cap picks. So, small cap picks should be avoided by youngsters. They should go into the funds and try to avoid nosy small cap stories. This is coming based on the rumors. Even a lot of IPOs, you see it's flourishing. People go and put the money in the IPOs, and then some may exit taking the listing gains and some may just let it go. And then after 3 months, they will see that the portfolio is down. The stock which is listed, you didn't capitalize on the listing gains, and now you're sitting at a loss. So if the fund or the small cap is strong and the volatility doesn't unsettle you, it doesn't give you a jittery feeling, then you can stay invested for horizon of 5 years minimum. Another major point is let the winners run. Don't pull out the money from funds or stocks that is performing and reallocate to the underperforming assets or underperforming funds. So what you have to keep in mind is don't forget the basics. You don't chase high return investment. Don't have short-term expectations. Okay. Just be steady, be cool, allocate properly your funds to either stocks or funds and then small cap funds, and then give the time. The time is the only factor which is going to drive you forward. Now, how does the story of small cap as such looks like now? As you see in the chart, the level which we are talking right now as we speak is around close to around 17,000. Okay, 17,000, 17,020. Now, if that level is broken, 16,650 and 16,000 levels can act as intermediate support, or the index itself can fall up to 15 to 80 levels. And if the major fall is there, it can even go down to 13,800 levels. But on the upside, we can see targets of 25,300 coming in. I am not saying next year or year after, maybe 2030, 2031. In the next close to around 4 5 years, you can see the index of small cap coming up to 25,300 odd levels. Okay, so all said and done, it's easy for us to predict and do things, but uh, let's see how the market takes us and where the indexes takes us. Okay. Now, if you are watching this video, please like, share, and subscribe with the especially with the youngsters who are just started earning and they want to get into the market. I will take you through few of the small cap stocks and see how they have performed. Just a second. Just hold on and be patient. I hope the screen is visible. Okay, so let's get into few stocks which I have kept a note of. See, this is ACE, Action Construction Equipment, which in the year 2024, that is, you can see the date here, 1st of April 2024, from there till now, it has fell over 48%. It's close to 50 percentage. In that too, in less than 2 years' time. Okay, 651 days. You can see 651 days, it has fell close to 50 percentage from the high. All right. Let's see one more example. Sira sanitary ware you have seen everywhere. Okay. Do you think it's a small cap? It is a small cap. But for us, it doesn't make sense. Okay. We think that small caps are really small. It's not like that. Okay. So there are big fancy names in the small cap category as well. Now, if you look at the price in August 2024 and now the price has corrected by around 53%, and that too in 525 days. Okay. There are so many examples. I just touch upon few of them just to make sure that you are not getting carried away by the noises and the news that is floating around. All right. Okay. Now, there's another stock is Mayura Uniquotors Limited, okay, or Mayur Uniquotors Limited. It made from the high of 2024 or July till now, it has corrected over 36 percentage, okay, and you see 36 percentage correction happened almost in 250 days. This is a weekly chart. Okay, so 36 weeks, 36 percentage correction in 36 weeks. So be very, very, very careful. And one more and the last example which I want to take it up today is NTPC Green. NTPC Green was listed very in the latest months of 24. From a high of 155, it has come to 90 levels, which means it's close to around 43 percentage fall. So what are we doing? Just by hearing the news, reading some newspapers, just don't go and invest your money into the funds. Do proper analysis, read, get the data, get the facts behind the funds before you put the money into the small cap space. Okay. Thanks for watching and have a nice day. Bye bye. Thank you.